I'm probably the person from behind the scenes. So I kind of come in and kind of let the girls know, like, this is how the industry is from behind the scenes, whilst they work more on the front-facing part of it. So they're on the actual content creation side, whereas I work with the big brands to then reach out to the content creators. So it's nice to always keep a list and a good reference point of contacts by having likes of Mimi and Olivia in my network. So I'm Chanel Branford. So I'm a social media expert and I've been in the industry for 9 years now. Started off at Google as an apprentice and worked my way up in the industry.
Hi, my name is Olivia Taylor. I am a multi-faced creative. I am an A&R, an artist, an editor, a multi-award winning drill artist, personality, a bit of everything.
I'm Mimi, the music blogger. So I'm a tastemaker, content creator, and I just like to talk a lot. Yeah.
I say I'm probably the glue in it all. So I actually went to school with Mimi, and she introduced me to Olivia for a couple of projects that we worked on last year.
My uni was like that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's very pristine.
Yeah, I think for us it's a bit more insightful in the sense of like, it allows us to be like, oh, you guys actually take us serious. Because I don't think we take ourselves serious. So it's nice to be acknowledged.
I think it's really important given the fact that, especially within this industry, it's actually quite a new one. So when you look at just the history of like content creation, digital media, for example, it didn't actually exist about 35 years ago, right? So in terms of the evolution that's been able to drive since the early 2000s and with social media kind of blowing up since about 2006, for example, there's been a lot of different jobs and opportunities that have kind of come to life off the back of this industry. So I think actually letting this young generation know who might have only known about traditional jobs and traditional careers, more kind of down the likes of law or doctrine, for example, to let them know that actually there's something out there that you can do and is really fun, and you can build a really cool career out of it, and there is longevity within this career as well. You can have a sustainable income off the back of this industry as well. So I think just letting them know that there's so many different opportunities that are available that might not have traditionally been introduced to them when growing up.
Amazing. Be consistent.
Yeah.
I feel like consistency is the main key because you want to be on the ball, and you would be surprised like who will check you out and all of that stuff. I'll say consistency. Yeah.
I would say be authentic to yourself. I was really fortunate to start my career as an apprentice at Google, so it wasn't based off of like my accolades or anything from an academic background. It was literally my personality. And my hiring manager actually said that she's a risk taker, and I like that. So I think if there's an opportunity presented to you, just take the opportunity. That's the main number one advice.
I'll say go with your heart, just because I feel like that will lead to what your brand is, what your emphasis, morals, but also it just aligns you with what you actually want and how you want to be perceived. So, yeah.
Do you want to?
I think with social media specifically, and this isn't just with like my peers or the colleagues that I've worked with specifically, I would say just kind of looking at social media as a whole, you have to be very careful of who you are on social media, because the internet is something that lives on and it shows it lives on forever. So, you know, you might say something today that will actually affect your job opportunities in 10, 15 years time. They can stop you from having brand partnerships and brand deals, sponsorships. Even certain companies won't want to hire you based on how you've perceived yourself on social media. So I think it's really important to just be mindful of the things that you're putting out on the internet. Yeah, you have to be very professional, and if you're not going to be, just have a private account.
Yeah, have a burner.
Yeah,
Make sure have a burner.
Yeah, you have
Finsta.
to. Yeah,
Digital footprint's a real thing.
it is.
My pinch me moment would be when I got hired by Apple Music. I was headhunted, which was really surprising because I didn't think I would have a brand come to me. It was still the beginning of my career, but it kind of solidified my position into the industry. And once that door opened, everything else opened easily, and I was just like, wow, I didn't have to change who I was watered down how I am online. They just accepted me for me, so that was a bit like a oh my G.
My first event with Julie was like Beyonce's party was sold out. We did it in 4 days, so that was really exciting because Beyonce's my favorite artist in the whole world. So it was just like, oh my gosh, something that I love. I'm sharing it to the world. Did some red carpet stuff with Mobos. Was a voting panels as well. I don't know, just a few.
It's just nothing to me.
No.
I think my first pinch me moment happened really early on in my career. The first pinch me moment was like actually getting a job at Google. And to do that without like a degree or having even finished sixth form was like a huge thing for me. I think the second big pinch me moment in my career was getting headhunted to work on L'Oreal and manage the majority of their brands, which was like, oh my God, like mum, I'm working on all of this. Like, this is so cool. And I would say the final pinch me moment was last year when I won and was named as one of the 30 under 30 candidates for Performance Marketing World for the work that I'd done on Clarins. So it just kind of brought it all together. It was like, this is actually real. Like, I actually have a career in like media, and the media world actually knows who I am. So that was a pinch me moment for me. Yeah, one piece of technology that I couldn't live without, surprisingly, it's not actually my phone. It is my laptop. I think given the fact that I work with a lot of big brands and I'm helping them activate like hundreds of thousands of pounds of activity online via social media, you could imagine that having a screen big enough for me to actually get these campaigns live is really important. And constant internet is like another thing.
Equipment I couldn't live without will probably be my iPad, simply because it's an extension of my phone, but it allows me to actually physically draw on it, which I wouldn't be able to do on my phone or on my laptop. But it has all the same compartments as my phone, so go Apple.
Oh, mine was my phone. Yeah. I feel bare sad because everyone picks my phone because it has everything. I can call, watch, documentaries on Netflix, music all the time. Yeah, it's just my phone, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
Given the fact that I work on the background and the back end of the industry, I think it is quite important for you to be able to commute at least into London a couple of times a week. I think the pandemic has really shifted the industry, and this is one industry that has been able to really show that there's a way that we can hybridly work and still be able to get the work done. So I think probably if you asked me the same question, how important is it to be in London in the creative industry 5 years ago, I would have probably said, you need to get to London right now. You should have been here yesterday. Whereas now it's very much like, as long as you have the flexibility to come to London at least 2 times a week, then you can definitely build a really strong career within the creative industry and not necessarily have to live in London.
I like to party in fashion and work in music. I think London is the heart for it all.
Yeah, it's the heart.
London,
yeah.
New York.
It's like the big heart.
Yeah. It's the same. You just can't get that vibe anywhere else.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm already signed up for Industry Week in London.
Here we go.
Oh,
4K.
got some 4K.
Thank you.
You're going to give a massive tour.
I know.